Hello friends, my name is Yacov Fruchter, the spiritual leader of the Annex Shul, and this year I'm going to challenge you to use a new or different Haggadah for your Pesach Seder. I remember as a kid that I received one year this shiny blue Haggadah that had pop-outs and fun games that I could play during the actual Seder, and I used to love it. And recently I've been thinking, shouldn't we as adults also have a Haggadah that speaks to us, that excites us, and moreover fulfills the actual mission of a Haggadah? The word Haggadah actually comes from the Torah, and there's a verse, a pasuk, that tells us, V'higadeta levincha bayom hahu, that regarding the story of the Exodus from Egypt, the Pesach story, that we shall tell our children on that day or about that day. So that word V'higadeta is to tell, is in fact the root of the word Haggadah. So the Haggadah is supposed to be a tool that allows us to share the story of the Jewish people being freed from Egypt to our children, to our friends, and to future generations. In determining which Haggadah to use, and the truth is that in most years I end up choosing more than just one, I consider 4 questions. The first one is, does this Haggadah help me contribute to or lead the Seder that I'm involved in? Secondly, are the commentaries included in the Haggadah relevant to Jewish life today? Third, is this Haggadah fun? Right? Does it capture my attention? Is it witty? And finally, does this Haggadah inspire me to ask more of my own questions and to do more deep learning? With these 4 questions in mind, I'd like to share with you 4 different Haggadahs that I think are worthy of your time. The first one is called Torat Chaim, and this one is not a fun Haggadah. It's not no great pictures in it, no incredible jokes, unless you think medieval humor is funny. What it does offer is an incredible wealth of Jewish knowledge with respect to really what Haggadah is all about and the essence of the stories, and commentaries by medieval rabbis, often known as the Rishonim. So if you want deep learning and you have the ability to learn in Hebrew, because there's no translation, this is actually an incredible Haggadah to use, and a lot of the messages really are still relevant today. Secondly, and this also is not a new Haggadah, and I've used it a couple of times, but I think it's an excellent one. It's called A Night to Remember. Now this one actually is funny. There are jokes in it, quotes from lots of different rabbis, Jewish leaders as well as non-Jewish leaders, and stories about freedom and Exodus, both from the Jewish experience and the non-Jewish experience. Another excellent feature of this Haggadah is that it really is non-denominational, and the editors and authors really brought sources and materials from across the Jewish spectrum. The third Haggadah, which I don't actually have in front of me right now, has a really nifty title called The Haggadah by Rabbi Jonathan Sacks, who's the chief rabbi of Great Britain. As my friend and Annex Shul leader Alana Metter likes to call him, he is the Justin Bieber of the Jewish world, and always has incredible insight, especially when it comes to the Yetziat Mitzrayim story. This is the Exodus story. He's able to really translate it into what it means today for us and contemporary Jewish life. That's it. No fancy pictures, but as always, incredible content. Now, the final one that I want to share with you today is actually brand spanking new. And the truth is, it's a piece of art. It's edited by the famous author Jonathan Safran Foer. And what I really like about this one is that, again, it is traditional, but it also has a very contemporary approach. So both in terms of the art that you'll see within it, but also the fact that each one of the components of the Haggadah are actually broken down and explained through different ideas. So nation, library, house of study, and playground. And as you also might see is that to read some of the commentary, you actually have to turn it in different directions, which is a little bit nauseating when it comes to reading from a Haggadah. But the content really is there. It's super thoughtful, and it's certainly contemporary. So just to leave you sort of with one last thought, I want to actually read you a quick excerpt from the introduction to this Haggadah. And they write, As you read these words, as our people's ink-stained fingers turn its wine-stained pages, new Haggadahs are being written. And as future Jews of future tables read those Haggadahs, other Haggadahs will be written. New Haggadahs will be written until there are no more Jews to write them, or until our destiny has been fulfilled and there's no more need to say, next year in Jerusalem. So once again, I challenge you to find a Haggadah that allows you to ask more questions, that allows you to lead a wonderful Seder, and ultimately that will lead to you writing maybe one day your own Haggadah with your own ideas. Chag Sameach. If you'd like to sell your chametz with us, please find the form, and we wish you a Chag Kasher v'Sameach, a happy and kosher and really healthy Pesach. All the best.